The Ford government coming under fire today for not releasing a concerning climate change report for 8 months. The opposition alleges the government has been keeping it under wraps while it deals with the Greenbelt scandal.
It's clear the Premier doesn't want people to know how dire the risk of climate crisis is to our health, our economy, and our property.
The report is dated January 2023, but is only coming to light now. Its 533 pages outline a sobering forecast for the future. The climate change impact assessment, the first for Ontario, concludes extreme heat days of 30 degrees or more could almost quadruple to an average 55 to 60 a year by the 2080s. The current annual average is 16.
If you look at that report, they note that the risk to people is very high over the next series of decades and centuries. Huge risk from extreme weather events, risk from heavy rainfall and floods. There are going to be substantial problems in terms of the price of food because it's going to be harder to produce food in this province.
Ontario's Green Party leader Mike Schreiner says he's asked the government many times for the report, but it was released without notice.
People are experiencing the climate crisis right now. I mean, we experienced it with our health this summer, breathing toxic air from wildfire smoke. Communities in northwestern Ontario in particular were evacuated due to wildfires and flooding. And to have the government sitting on this report is just outrageous.
Both the NDP and the Green Party leader claim the Ford government didn't want the report to come to light while it deals with the backlash from opening up parts of the protected Greenbelt for housing.
It's clear the government is trying to hide the fact that their attack on the Greenbelt is going to make things worse. Their desire to pave over farmland is going to make things worse. The fact that they're ramping up fossil gas plants is going to make things worse. That's why the government doesn't want to talk about this report.
I think they just want this to go away. They want it to be ignored. They don't want people to think about it.
The opposition has long criticized Doug Ford for his stance on the environment.
Does the Premier acknowledge that the climate emergency is making this fire season significantly worse?
I'm actually in shock that the leader of opposition is politicizing wildfires. It's staggering, really.
A spokesperson for Environment Minister David Piccini told CityNews in a statement, the report concludes that Ontario has a robust capacity to adapt to the impacts of climate change, and we will continue to make historic investments in critical infrastructure. The NDP is calling on the Ford government to release a climate action plan that will substantially reduce emissions.